Good afternoon. This is the Reverend Alexia Salvatierra, and I'd love to talk to you for a while about how our Christian faith can provide guidance and sustaining power and actually miraculous assistance to our efforts for justice. So let me start with a little bit about who I am. I was born in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area. For those of you who actually know LA, I was born in North Torrance, across from the refinery. So working class family. My grandparents were immigrants, one side from Russia and one side from DF, from Mexico City. So I grew up all of my childhood with a very strong sense of injustice. My family was not religious, they were not Christian, they were part of the anti-church movements in both Russia and Mexico. So I became a Christian in the Jesus movement of the early 70s. And I really became a Christian partly because I was so deeply affected by the injustice of the world that I really felt like power and love were separate, that love was not powerful and that power was not loving. And I really didn't see a solution to that, because I could see how I could gain more power, but it would be at the expense of what mattered most to me. It wasn't until I really heard the gospel and I heard this amazing story of sacrificial love that becomes ultimate power. And then I thought, if this has any chance of being true, I want it to be true. I'll take the leap. So it was an experiment. I took the leap, and, some 40 years later, it's still good. It's real. So that's the heart of my faith, is the faith in the Jesus who transforms the world. So what do I want to say to you about what that means, to live our faith as fully as possible in the work that we do to transform the world, to create a more just world? I think I don't have a lot of time in 10 minutes to do much, but I think what I want to talk to you about is Jesus's advice for organizing. He called on us in Matthew 10:16 to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. To be wise as serpents is to take seriously the carnal aspects of the world, human sin. It's to admit that people in power are often so controlled by their place in the system that they cling to petty power at any cost, that they seek their narrow self-interest. This is true. This is true, and we have to fight it, as the widow did in Luke 18:1-8, with a critical mass of pressure. That's what she did. There was an unjust judge. She produced a critical mass of pressure, and he ended up giving her the justice that she called for. Now, he didn't give it because he changed. He gave it because she was such an annoyance. And that is usually how change occurs, or how people attempt to create change in our society. But there's a little problem with that. If you pressure someone into doing what is right, never turn your back. Not only will they go back to where they started, but they'll go farther to take vengeance on you. To be innocent as doves is to know that there's another kind of power as well. There's what we call dove power. Dove power is connected to the truth that the Holy Spirit is alive and well and at work long before you get into any situation. Everyone is made in the image of God and capable of unexpected and amazing acts of sacrificial love and moral courage, even if they're caught in the system. At whatever point they are in the system, they can actually stand up and create change. So when you come to somebody in power to change them, you don't only have to come as the widow before the unjust judge. You can also come in the way that the prophet Nathan came before King David, where he really came before him seeking to awaken the part of David that knew that we're all connected, that wanted the common good, that wanted to obey God, that believed in and wanted to do justice. So you can often, as Gandhi would say, you don't have to defeat and humiliate the opponent always. You can, at times, convert the heart of the opponent. So I just want to call you, as young Christians, to not only utilize serpent power as you go to create the justice, as you go to work with God to create the justice that we need so desperately in our society, that you would not only utilize serpent power, but you would also utilize dove power. Thank you. I'll maybe make another one at another point, but this is my video for now. Blessings.